Hey, if you're watching this video right now, that means that you're probably wondering, why in the world do truck drivers make so much money? And today I'm going to be giving you 3 different reasons why truck drivers make bank and why they're in such high demand. So, reason number 1 is going to be that there's a truck driver shortage. So anytime that there's a shortage, it goes back to your economics class back in high school or college, and that's all about supply and demand. So if you think about anything, when there is a low supply of something, which means there's not a lot of things, and there's a high demand for something, of course the price has to go up. I mean, just think about it logically, right? So remember during the pandemic, there was a low supply of toilet paper. Not every place had toilet paper. There was a super high demand for toilet paper because everybody apparently wanted to go to the bathroom at the same time. So what happened to the toilet paper prices? The toilet paper prices went up. And that's what's happening with truck drivers. So that's the main reason why. Because there's about 150,000 driver shortage, there's a huge demand for drivers, and there's not that many of them. So that means that the way to actually get more drivers coming in is to start paying them more and more and more to make sure that they get involved with the actual career path itself, so the companies can actually continue to grow and be successful. So that's going to be reason number 1. Reason number 2 is, let's talk about why there's such low supply. And that's because there's barriers to entry. Not everyone off the street can actually just get inside of a truck and start driving. There's a skill set that's needed and actually to become a professional driver. First thing that's going to be a barrier to entry is that you have to get a CDL license. A CDL license stands for Commercial Driver's License. So that means if you don't have that, you're actually not qualified to do that job, which means you need a qualification. Just like an airline pilot needs a pilot's license, and there's a high demand for those as well, same exact thing when it comes to CDL. Because if you thought about it, if anybody can do it, now all of a sudden the supply would go up a lot, and that means that they would actually pay a lot less. Because when it comes to how much you earn, it really comes down to this one simple formula. If you want to make more money, you have to solve more problems, or bigger problems I should say. If you're solving a problem that anybody can do, then you're probably not going to be making as much money as if you're solving a problem that very few people can do. And if you get yourself a CDL license, you start getting higher in that value ladder, which means that you're actually being able to solve problems that less and less people are actually able to solve, which means you actually deserve to get paid more. If you think about it, the biggest earners in this world are people who solve the biggest problems. Elon Musk, for example, the richest guy in the world, he's solving the problem on how to go to Mars in his case, right? Or electric cars and so many other things that he actually is solving that very few people in this entire planet can actually do, and that's why he gets to earn so much more money. And that's pretty much what the formula comes down to. So that's reason number 2. Now reason number 3 is going to be the actual money that the actual truck earns itself, right? So if we were to think about it, the truck drivers actually make a good amount of money because the actual company can produce a lot of money based on the truck. So if we were just to keep the numbers simple, say a truck in 1 month, again, just to keep the numbers simple, can produce $10,000. Now the company can actually pay based on that truck up to $10,000, whatever that profit is, right? So it's $10,000 that the truck can actually produce an income, minus any fuel expenses, minus any repairs. Whatever's left over is between what they pay the salary of the driver and what their profit's going to be. So most companies know that the drivers are doing most of the work, so they deserve most of the money, and the company keeps a little bit of profit for themselves. But if that same exact truck was only able to make $1,000 a month, now it's the same exact formula, because that's business, right? So when it comes to business, if you're making $1,000 a month, they still have to pay for fuel, they still have to pay for insurance, they still have to pay for repairs, and now there's much less left over at the end of the month to pay the driver and to have profit, if there is any. So if we were to think about it, that's why Uber drivers don't really make that much, simply because in order for them to make a lot, they have to drive a whole lot, because the actual vehicle itself cannot produce that kind of volume in order to actually be able to afford to pay you. Plus, when it comes down to everything else, anybody with a driver's license, which is a lot of people, can become an Uber driver, and it's a very flexible way to do it, so a lot of people actually get into that way of getting it done. Now you can make an okay living being an Uber driver, and there's no harm with that, but we actually have a lot of Uber drivers who are driving all day anyway and want to actually become CDL drivers because they're able to make so much more money, and they're actually able to see the country, and they don't have to talk to their cargo. Most truck drivers out there, they have cargo that's in the back of the trailer, which means they don't have to talk to anybody, It's nice and relaxed. They get to play the music that they want. They don't have to deal with any pest customers or anything like that. And they make more money while they're doing it as well. So it's a pretty cool gig, especially if you're an Uber driver and you want to upgrade your skill set. You're probably a pretty okay driver if you're doing that for a while. We just have to teach you exactly how to actually get yourself into the trucking career as well. So I hope that this helped you out. I hope that this enticed you to actually becoming a CDL driver. And one of the cool things that's not talked about is going to be how secure the job is. So we're getting into shaky times. You've heard a lot of talk about a lot of layoffs happening in the big companies, and that might be happening more and more often as we get closer and closer to this recession. So that being said, trucking companies are probably the last companies that are going to do layoffs, simply because that they are the infrastructure of the entire economy, which means things still have to go from point A to point B. If you looked at the worst case scenario where the country shut down, truck drivers are still getting paid. So if you're afraid of actually losing your job in these next coming months because of the actual recession that's coming, in that case, you might want to start making moves now so you can actually secure your future and your family's future by getting a CDL license, because if that's one of the most secure jobs in the entire country. Now, the way to do that is to join the best truck driving school in the entire country, and that's here at Driving Academy. So we have a few locations, and more are opening up because we do offer franchising available for anybody who's interested in getting into the trucking industry as well. So if you are looking for more money and you want to get yourself into a very secure career, getting a CDL license will probably be the best option for you. Our mission at Driving Academy is simple. Our mission is to help 1 million people get on the road to freedom. What's more free than driving where you want to go and making more money while you're doing it? So visit our website at cdldrivingacademy.com. Again, cdldrivingacademy.com. Give us a call, 908-525-3609. Thank you. Have a great day. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, make sure you hit that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel. It's really going to help us out. Click on that button. And if you want to continue yourself on your road to freedom, here's more videos to watch. There's endless amounts. Hopefully we get to see each other one day very soon. Thanks.